Ostrop Deep. What's that? There, that old building, that's where the Verdant's fragment is hiding. Really. Whatever this place was intended to be, its inhabitants are long gone. The entire building seethes with overgrown vines, burrowed deep into the foundations and climbing high enough to smother the roof in an inescapable embrace. The driver is drawn to something deep in the structure. Okay. The driver follows a trail of fungal vines deep into the bowels of the building, snapping at a bulbous mass that takes up much of what was originally a cellar. They approach it, letting its thorns rise up, wrap around them, draw blood. "I'm here to take you home," the driver tells it, though it seems unlikely the verdant fragment has any interest in something as simplistic as human speech. The driver winces as it digs its thorns in deeper. When it finally lets go, the driver looks miserable. "It won't come with us," they force out, wincing at the sting of fresh iodine on their wounds. It prizes its freedom too much to give up, and just become part of its primogenitor. "I don't know what to do." Whatever this place was intended to be, its inhabitants are long gone. The entire building seethes with overgrown vines. I've read that already. We could attempt to communicate or offer ourselves as a host. You will take it back, but part of it will always live inside you. It will take something too. We could threaten it if we had munitions. It communed with the driver. Why not you? The verdant fragment pulses slowly, showing no interest in your attempt to communicate. Ah. Do we want that kind of guest in our head? I mean, that sounds kind of fun. We won't do it out of the goodness of our heart, which we don't have any of. Which we don't have. How to turn that sequence? Which we don't have one of, but... Need ammo. Let's do that, sure. The vines shift from the driver's arms to your own flesh, digging in for the verdant fragment to taste your blood and get your measure. It appears to find it acceptable. The main mass of growth erupts into a single large flower that sprays spores into your face and withers away. As you help the driver cut the central mass free, something in the back of your head whispers to you in the language of flowers and butterflies. You can now return to the renegade fungal mass to the nature reserve. Nature reserve. Here. Driver. And there was an information I needed to remove. Right, about the floating parliament. Okay, we lost one eye, and that's actually pretty terrible for us. Nothing new here. I guess that was where... I hope that was worthwhile. Do we fully scout? I'm just gonna send a scout. Our resources are not infinite. I'm saying again, Jesus, that's getting annoying. Something there, sure. Something else, okay. That's a vortex again, right? The whirlwind pulls at you, your engine lurches, a crush of crockery from the galley. Well of the wolf. We needed it for something. Where did I write that down? The well of the wolf. The devil wants us to go to the well of the wolf. Okay. Except we've not seen a place to land, so perhaps it's that thing next to it. I sure hope we don't have to go in the middle of the well. That's just an egg. Oh my, that's two of them. That's extremely bad. Please, what are you doing, man? Oh, Jesus. I don't think the other one aggroed on us. When does it die? I need you down. Okay. Let's get our terror down. We do that again. Okay. Well, I guess we do try to go in the middle of the well. Don't look into the well, the thing inside looks back. Yeah, well, approach. Okay. A hole in the sky. Torrents of celestial mists pour into it. Shelves of black ice poke from its throat. One of the shelves extends over the well mouth in a narrow spur. At its end stands a pittle cast iron bandstand. I pressed earlier than I would have liked to, but the whirlwind bays like a dog refusing to leave its master's grave. The yacht driver wrestles the rising winds. Her engine bucks like a dying pig. Its hull groans. Gritty black particulate clatters at the windows. With the last lurch, your locomotive crunches onto the grimy ice. Your driver exhales. A good landing, not a gentle one. When you emerge from your engine, the winds push at you like a schoolyard bully. The cold bites. Beyond the lip of black permafrost, the well mouth gapes, wide enough to swallow worlds. Away from the edge, a cluster of hexagonal cave mouths perforate an icy cliff face. The yellow eyes of devils gleams inside them. Speak to them, approach the stone idol. Approach the bandstand. What? Having no useless cats. What? Let's first do what the devil wants us to do. There was someone he wanted to find somewhere in one of these caves. In body, she is an older, even motherly deviless. She says nothing to him, though it's plain she recognizes him with pleasure. He, for his part, sits with her a long time, telling stories of the Iron Republic, of London as it used to be, of Parabole. He talks the way one might at the sickbed of a beloved and conscious patient, as much for one's own comfort as for theirs. At last he runs out. "How did you ever reconcile yourself," he says, "to giving up the work?" She doesn't answer. Before he can go, she offers him a document on papyrus, sealed with wax. Help him sympathize with her. Help him direct his rage. "I do not understand," he says. "Once she was an unstoppable force, or, if he's going to be angry, let him be angry at those who have reduced devils to this condition." I don't think we're good at this. That would be something we are more familiar with. So although that sounds like the right option, that's what we're gonna do. He grumbles. It was not useful to rebel against the judgments before. That is what produced this result in the first place. But perhaps he's moody and thoughtful for some time after this. Okay, well that's done, I guess. Let's do that. There is something inside the well. Whatever it is, the devils would like it gone. Please. The devils trail you to the lip of the well, their faces weighted with expectation. Something is yowling plaintively from the abyss, something mortal and odiously off-key. Odiously off-key. You go on your stomach and lean over the edge, a hand thrust into the void. For moments there is nothing but the noise, nothing but the cold and the sense you've profaned something sacred. Then your fingers brush against fur. With considerable effort, you extract a round-bellied, snaggle-toothed, long-clawed lump of a cat. The devils are relieved at your success and insist you depart with the aggrieved feline as soon as possible. Perhaps we wouldn't have had that option if we took Monsieur Francois from the magician place in Port Prosper. Let's speak with the devils. They emerge curious from the caves. Once they were dapper in pinstripe or delicate in brocade, now they wear rags. Their brocade has frayed, their pinstripe faded to porridgey grey. You ask about their lives here. Silence. When you persist, one steps forward and opens his mouth as wide as he can. Plain song emerges, sweet with a sonorous drone. The devil's lips and tongue aren't moving. The song is coming from deeper in his throat. You stand on tiptoes. The devil leans obligingly forward. You peer past his tongue, his tonsils, his gullet, and see a large compound eye, insectoid, iridescent, peering back at you from his chest cavity. The devil steps back. That is all for now, it seems. What the hell? Approach a stone idol or the bandstand. The idol seems more significant, so I'll go with the bandstand first. A spur of ice juts precipitously over the well. At the end of it sits a bandstand worn by the wind. There the devils sing their hymns. The journey to the bandstand is bleak and exposed. The well waits on either side. If you look down, you imagine movement in its caliginous depths. The temptation wells in you to fling yourself from the ice and into the abysm. You avert your eyes swiftly. The thing in the well begins to howl, and the winds scurry in search of kinder spaces. It is a hollow, keening sound, the distress of something that can't believe it still has more to lose. The ice groans miserably. Watch a well song. The devils struggled out in their wasted finery, out into the teeth of the wind. In a trudging line, they make their way to the bandstand. You lack the tools to decipher the meaning of the hymn. The well house. Sure. The devils mount the bandstand and begin to sing. Their lips are motionless, their mouths hanging slackly open. Buzzing plain-sung pours from their throats. The notes are scattered across the scale, creating only a tenuous harmony. Slowly they begin to shuffle in what might be a dance. Its movements are performed only with their feet. Are they drawing an alphabet? Hieroglyphs? The well's wail drowns them out, but they persist. After some time the well begins to waver, the wind slackens. Slowly over the course of another hour, the well returns to quiescence. The devils, wearied, go back to their caves. We could decipher some of the dense alphabets of the devils. A secret and a moment of inspiration, and a searing enigma. That sounds significant. Decipher some of the dense alphabet. Fortunately, you had the presence of mind to take sketches of the steps the devils performed during their last service. Sure. Returning to your engine, you spread your sketches across your bunk and instruct your crew that you are not to be disturbed. You have learned a great deal in your travels. You are sure the patterns of the devil's dance are a crude form of the correspondence. The hymn itself, you think, is only inflection. By morning you have assembled enough of a foundation to decipher the devil's next service. Okay, then we investigate it, I guess. The bandstand is made from cast iron, modestly curlicked and pitted by the harsh weather. You find the manufacturer's mark and dates. The components were wrought in the promised days just after London arrived in the heavens. While inspecting it, you feel the weight of the numberless fathoms below you. They pull at you. Perhaps as a child you dropped a stone down a less terrible well. Perhaps you listened for the sound of it striking the bottom. Now you imagine yourself as that stone, folding and folding. Okay, well, they're not singing anymore, so we'll have to come back. Approach the stone idol. A large fragment of sky rock has fallen here. It has been graven by the wind or by long-forgotten tools into a bulbous shape, perforated by holes of different sizes. It moans. It whistles. The shapeless idol looms over you. Someone has scratched jagged teeth around each of its holes, transforming them into many, many mouths. A heavy hook is affixed into the stone, just higher than you can reach. While at the base of the idol, two depressions have been dug into the ice. The first holds a knout with hooks knotted in its thongs. The second holds a buckled strap of something like leather. We could get the right of the rack if we gave up our current right. Around the second depression, someone has cut the words "hang and give voice" into the ice. This one increases your hearts at the cost of your iron and mirrors. No thanks. Okay. Guess we'll have to eventually come back. Let's write that down. Come back for... what was it? Him. Okay. Then I'm guessing we leave. Let's scout around a bit, perhaps the outer part first, although we need supplies, right? Right. So we could scout that, then scout that, go and buy our supplies here, finish scouting that, and then see what we do.